Good evening, one and all presented over here. I'm Aditya Singh from Mechatronics Department, RNTC Center, here to represent my Shoptalk topic, which is on 4D printing. So let's get into it. These are the few contents that I'm going to be talking about here. What is 4D printing? Comparison between 3D and 4D. How does it work? The materials required for the 4D printing, industrial application, pros and cons, and finally future scope. So what is 4D printing? A 4D printing is a process through which we create an object by which it can change its shapes and sizes with the help of smart materials. Either we can use the smart materials, or it can change its shapes and size with the given specific period of time. Now here is the comparison between 3D and 4D. But let's first talk about 3D. What is 3D? A 3D is nothing but a simple additive manufacturing process by which we create an object through layer by layer. And 4D in comparison, we can say that 4D also creates an object by additive manufacturing. But the main difference is that 4D can change its shapes and size and 3D cannot. This is the basic fundamental and the most basic definition about if you want to talk about 3D and 4D. But the most basic and the most important thing between the comparison of 3D and 4D is that 3D has three things: length, breadth, and height. But when it comes to fourth dimension, it has length, breadth, height, and also time. Because as I've already mentioned, that it can change its shapes and size with the help of a given period of time. That's why when we include time in the fourth dimension, then we humans can say that we can comprehend with the fourth dimension. Otherwise we cannot comprehend with the fourth dimension. That's why we include time in the 4D. So how does 4D printing work? 4D printing works by three things: designing of the 3D shape, selecting of the smart materials, and finally printing the object layer by layer by additive manufacturing. Now the most important thing is that selecting of the smart material. So let's talk about that. These are the smart materials what makes 4D printing very highly advanceable, because these materials are the only thing which makes the 4D change its shapes and sizes. Now let's talk about the industrial applications of the 4D printing. It can be used in medical machineries, like we can create transplants of various types of organs. It can be used in fashion. Recently, a big company Versace has introduced a new 4D type of cloth which can change its shapes and size by a different type of temperature. It can also be used in aerospace, and it is now applicable in automotive too. Now these are the pros and cons of the 4D printing. 4D printing is in a greater consumption. It can create objects with tons of unique properties and can perform a very specific task, and it can create efficiency also, meaning that the objects can assemble it with the help of objects reassembling itself. It can create efficiency. It can reduce waste, since if an object gets broken, we can fix it by the help of an external stimuli like heat and water, and it is sustainable also. Now the big thing about cons is that it is a little bit complex, like choosing the smart materials of how they will change in shapes and sizes. It is a little bit complex in choosing the smart material. It is costly. The smart materials are very costly, and finally is that it is limited. Is that the materials are limited. Now the future scope of 4D printing is that 4D printing is now applicable in many things, in industrial application, in automotive, and in also human biology. But I can say is that it can go far beyond that. As 4D printing is very versatile, it can be applicable in almost every sort of field that are yet to come. Thank you.